go back over here. Okay, so what do we have to do next? Okay, so let's do the ID. As I mentioned previously, if you have an ID of your part, the first thing you need to be concerned about is, do I have enough room to get in there with my insert? Because the insert, is a certain length, a certain width. The tool holder, we don't dimension the tool holder. You can't actually define the tool holder. It just puts one in there. So this is just for simulation purposes. So you need to make sure that your physical tool holder and the insert that's on it, this width, there's enough room inside your part to get in there. If not, you're going to have to use all drilling operations. So we use 3 drilling operations for most of it, and then we're going to do 1 pass on the inside to do the finishing. So our first drilling operation, and the drilling is going to come by default along the Z-axis. This is going to be going in and out, okay? So our first drilling operation, we're going to do a 1/2-inch drill just to like a spot drill, sort of a starting hole in there, okay? And we're going to go, the clearance is set to automatic, and cut transfer set to clearance plane. So it's going to retract out to the clearance plane. So here's where all of your action takes place for drilling. We're going to do the number of different options. We're going to do a break chip, which means it's going to be coming in and out and breaking those chips and drilling the hole. So for the depth of the hole, so we're going to go to 4.5267. And again, you could select points on your drawing, which you can enter them directly. And we will not add the tooltip. And we're going to do break increments of 100 thousandths. Let's generate that. And let's go ahead and simulate. So it's break chipping those chips. And let's speed that up. Okay, so you'll notice that it came out past the actual end of the part, but I didn't. You want to try to avoid breaking through the back. You can get away with it in some cases, but you should always try not to do that. That's why I added a 1/2 inch on the back side. Okay, so let's go to our next drilling operation. So in this operation, we're going to be drilling, as you notice, we're going to be drilling smaller tools to larger tools, obviously. So we got our 1/2 inch starting hole, and now we're going to do a 1 1/8, which is going to finish or rough out the inner diameter here, okay, from here to here. Actually, it's going to bring it all the way in, but we're more concerned about this section right here. So for the cut parameters, Joe, if anybody has any questions, feel free to stop me. So, okay, so we're going to go to a break chip again, and we're going to set our distance here this time to 4.56244. And we're going to add our tooltip to the drill depth and our pick point. We have our top of our cut set to our pick point. We just picked this front point here, okay, or actually out here. And let's see what else. Our break chip set to 100 thousandths again. Let's go ahead and generate that. See what that looks like. Okay, so you'll see that we roughed out almost all of the inner diameter right here. And again, if you don't have room to get in there, just use a larger drill to match this diameter that you need to cut, and that should be sufficient for you. And if you want more of a finished cut or rough and finish, just use a roughing operation to get most of it out, and then use a finish drill to just do your finishing operation. It'll work just fine. It should. Okay, so we got one more drilling operation. We're going to see if we can clear out some of this material here. Okay, so let's go to another drilling operation. This time we're going to select our largest drill, 1.732, which is just about enough to drill this out, leaving a little bit of stock. Our clearance plane set to automatic retract. Cut transfer set to clearance plane. For our cut parameters, we have it set to break chip again. And for the drill depth, we have it set to 2.91929, which should get us right up to this point. And we have our tooltip. It's going to add our tooltip and it's the same start point. Okay. Our break chip is set to 100 thousandths again. Let's see how that looks. Okay, so let's look in here. As you can see, we got all of the finishing material removed from that inner diameter hole. Okay, and it goes past the back of the part. We're going to be cutting it off here at this point. And what we're going to do now is we're actually going to do some ID roughing to get this roughed out a little bit before we do our finishing. Okay, so let's go back over here. We're going to go turn roughing.